Hi everyone, welcome back. I have been away for a while and I do apologize about that, but I'm back now. And during that time, we managed to reach over 1,000 subscribers. So thank you very much for your support. If you've been watching from the start and following the series and you're still here now, I just want to say I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support and I hope that you stick around. So here we are. It's been a long time coming, but we finally reached the end. We're going to grow big again. So you'll want to head over to the Javamatic. You will need a spot burst or a brat burst. I recommend a spot burst because obviously they're sticky, so they're easier to use. So we're at the Javamatic here in the upper yard, which is basically a giant coffee pot. And this cracked piece of glass here is where you're going to want to throw your spot burst. So once that's open, head inside, pick up that raw science, and then you'll want to jump up on this battery here to get up to this platform, which is where you're going to place the embiggening cell. If you think you don't have it, don't worry, you probably do. Burgle would have given it to you after you collected any 2 of the super chips. It's not in your inventory, you can't see it, it's just something you always have. So once you place that there are a couple more bits of raw science around here that you can pick up if you want. After that, head up this big wire here, which will take you all the way to the top, and this is where you're going to deposit the embiggening cocktail. I didn't bring any of the ingredients with me to brew the cocktail, so I had to go and get them. You'll need 5 toenails, 5 gum nuggets, 5 berry leather, 5 koi-fish scales, and grilled science. The grilled science you get after meeting Dr. Tully, so you should already have that too. It's like the embiggening cell, it's just something you always carry with you that you can't see in your inventory. Unless you fancy fighting a black widow to get your toenails, you're probably better off going into the ashtray, which is on the deck of the shed. Once you've got all the ingredients, head back to the Javamatic and deposit them. Then head down to the calculator and press on. You'll see a short cutscene, but the Javamatic will fail to run. You'll need to kill some fire ants on the mixers, then grab your repair tool and fix them. After that, go back to Tully and talk to him. This will unlock the Javamatic storage facility, which is just underneath where you are, between the cinder blocks. In here you'll find a bunch of materials to help you prepare for the fight. There are some meals, some smoothies, and building materials. You can also sleep here and set your respawn point. There's also the Mant Figurine, which I missed the first time and had to come back and get it. It's really hard to see unless you've got a torch or a headlamp. Head into the room on the left, and it's on a shelf directly on your left as you enter the room. Grabbing this will unlock Roscoe Rogue Phase 3 if you've got all of the other figurines, which you probably do have by now. So now it's time to start building our defense. In the storage unit we just unlocked, there were a bunch of feathers, a bunch of weed stem, and a bunch of mushroom bricks. So it feels like the game is trying to tell us this is what we need to use to defend the mixer modules. So I listened to it. I built 2 curved mushroom walls around either side of the mixer modules, and then I joined these up with 2 straight mushroom walls. And then I just built the feather roofs on top of that. There are 3 mixer modules in the Javamatic, and they're kind of close to each other as well, so it shouldn't really take long to build your defenses. It was a lot easier than I expected, to be honest. So after that, you're going to want to build a bunch of obstacles for the enemies. I chose half stem walls, but you could choose grass walls or mushroom walls, anything that you've got a lot of resources for. Basically, the bugs are going to attack those instead of going around them, and that's going to buy you a lot of time during the fight. Once you're happy with your defenses and you think you're ready to go, head back to the Javamatic and press on the calculator. This will start the fight, but for real this time. I was waiting for all hell to break loose, since this is the last fight of the game. So everything you've been unlocking, crafting, upgrading in the game will help you here. Every fight, every boss, every death has prepared you for this moment. and if the mixers around the yard were anything to go by, then this was going to be a nightmare. But it wasn't. It lasts just over 11 minutes, which sounds like hell, but to be honest, there aren't many bugs. It's not very fast paced. It was disappointingly easy. I was actually very underprepared going into this fight. I didn't eat any meals beforehand, I forgot to bring smoothies or heal bosses, but it turned out I didn't even need them. My mutations are Guard Dog, Natural Explorer, Coup de Grace, and Ant Annihilator, Cardio Fan. With it being a defense event, you'll want Guard Dog equipped because that gives you 50% extra attack damage in phase 3. You'll be doing a lot of running around, so Natural Explorer will help with that. Most of the enemies you'll be fighting will be ants, so Ant Annihilator will increase damage dealt to ants by 25% and increase damage resist by 10% in phase 3. Coup de Grace will help you get some extra critical hits, and Cardio Fan will keep your stamina up. My armor is fully upgraded roly-poly armor down the bulky path, of course. It's been my go-to throughout this whole game, and it worked really well. In terms of a weapon, I think there's only really one clear choice, which is the Sour Battle Axe, or the Acid Edge, which it's now called, because all of the insects you'll be fighting here are ORCs, and they are all weak to Sour. With the Sour Battle Axe being the most powerful Sour weapon in the game, there's really no other choice. If you do decide to use the Sour Battle Axe, you might want to think about equipping the Chopper mutation. I didn't equip it because I didn't even have it unlocked at this point. I think I actually unlocked phase 1 during this fight, because I'd never really killed anything with an axe before. I thought axes were more of tools than weapons. The enemies you'll be fighting in this fight are the ORC versions of Fire Ant Workers, Fire Ant Soldiers, Ladybirds, Fireflies, Dust Mites, Tiger Mosquitoes, Bombardier Beetles, and Black Ox Beetles. I honestly don't know why they didn't just throw every bug at you here in this fight. I can't remember the last time I killed a stink bug. I think I've killed about 4 in the entire game. You have to kill one to get the gas mask, but after that, there's really no need to kill them anymore. I find them really difficult to kill, so I just stay out of their way. I don't need any resources from them, so I just try to avoid them, and that's what I've done throughout the whole game. So it would have been nice if they had forced me to fight all the enemies in this final fight. With all the enemies in this fight being ORCs, it means they're all weak to Sour, which means you can kill all of them with one Sour weapon. If they had used enemies other than ORCs, we would have been forced to use different weapons depending on their weaknesses. We would have been able to use all of the weapons we've spent so much time collecting, crafting, and upgrading throughout the game. It also would have been a test of knowledge to be able to use the right weapons on the right bugs. With just ORCs, you can easily go in with one weapon, one armor set, and one set of mutations, and easily win the game. I think a better way of doing it would have been to have sent waves of each enemy. Like a wave of stink bugs, a wave of bombardier beetles, a wave of black ox beetles, and eventually moving up to spiders. There were no spiders in this final fight. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, spiders are kind of a fundamental part of Grounded. They are the scariest, and for some people, the most difficult enemies in the game. And they're everywhere. You have to fight them all the time. So why would you not have to fight them in the final fight? It doesn't make sense to me. Sorry for ranting about this, but it just seemed like a really anticlimactic end to the game. Especially after having to fight things like the infected broodmother. This is suddenly too easy. None of my defenses around the mixer modules were destroyed, and none of the mixer modules were damaged at all. And like I said earlier, I wasn't even really prepared for this. I didn't bring any meals or smoothies. I don't think the final fight in a game should be something you should be able to complete first time without being prepared. There were so many breathers during this fight that you just had so much time to heal yourself, rebuild, or repair all of your defenses. To me, A final fight should be chaos from start to finish. You shouldn't really have any time to breathe. It should be non-stop carnage from start to end. Kind of like the infected broodmother fight. That was a challenge. This was a piece of cake. I don't want to sound arrogant saying any of this. If you followed the series from start to finish, then you'll know that I'm a pretty average player. So if I find this too easy, then it probably is too easy. But anyway, enough ranting. You know the drill. Just run around, defend, repair, kill bugs. That's it basically. It's basically a giant mixer. You're doing 3 mixers at once, that's it. So if you've done the mixers around the yard, which I would advise you to do before doing this, then this should be really no problem for you. There's not much else to say on it. So once you finish the fight, a cutscene will automatically start, showing you that the embiggening cell is now full, and you can go and collect it. Once you've picked up the embiggening cell with the embiggening cocktail in it, you can head down to the mysterious machine back at the start of the game and get ready to grow big again, or embiggen, if you will. So as you journey back across this yard, the yard that you have called home for the past however many days, weeks, or months, remembering all of the amazing discoveries, conquered fears, and triumphant victories, every achievement, no matter how great or small along the way, you can proudly hold your head up high, because although you have yet to grow big again, in this yard, which you made your home, you have grown in ways you cannot imagine. So once you've felt epic for a while, running through the yard, listening to that awesome music, head over to the mysterious machine, put the embiggening cell into this little chamber here, and then go talk to Wendell, let him chew your ear off one last time, and then hit that button and grow big. There is another little cutscene there at the end, but it wouldn't let me record it. But anyway, at the end of the game, you'll get your report card, and it'll give you all the stats for your game. I got an A, 97%. I know I missed most of the gold cards, and there was also a glitch that didn't let me pick up one of the data items, so I was never going to get 100%, but 97 is not bad. I'll take it. The most shocking part for me is the 60 deaths. I thought I would have been well into the hundreds, but there you have it. Let me know in the comments what you guys got on your report cards. I'm sure you did much better than me. Once again, thank you so much for following this series, especially if you've been here from the start. I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much.